Reaching the Paris Agreement requires a faster, broader, and also global implementation of more sustainable solutions. We are in the middle of an energy and also an industrial transformation, changing our current and traditional ways of operations. And in this transition, new technologies are being developed and many are already available. The industry is ready. Now we need to collaborate cross-border to make this happen. One recent collaboration is between the two titans of Swedish industry, SSAB and Alfa Laval, and how they can push the boundaries and lead the transformation on a journey globally. Steel production makes up 7% of CO2 emissions. This can change. SSAB has taken a strategic decision to lead the transformation, and their upcoming fossil-free technology will be a breakthrough for the industry as it transitions to more sustainable operations. It is now my pleasure to introduce Eva Pettersson, Executive Vice President and Head of Research and Innovation, SSAB, to share her insights on this topic. And here she is. Well, a warm welcome to you, Eva.
Thank you very much.
So, Eva, you have the floor, and you can just fire away.
Yes, you said that globally, the steel industry emits 7% of the carbon dioxide. In Sweden, it's 10%.
Even more.
And it's my company. So making steel from iron ore with the current technology using blast furnaces and carbon to reduce and make the iron ore transfer into steel, it's actually a chemical reaction. So we realized that this needs to change. We cannot make more efficient the system that we already have. We need to do something different. So we partnered up with Vattenfall and LKAB, the energy provider with fossil-free electricity, and the iron ore company LKAB, to make a hydrogen breakthrough iron-making technology, and it's completely new. It uses hydrogen instead of carbon. We emit water instead of carbon dioxide. It will potentially, when we are transform the whole company, be 10% for Sweden and 7% for Finland.
It's massive, really.
Yes, yes. And I think it's possible with the value chain approach that we now have with LKAB, Vattenfall, and SSAB. It's not possible. And now also with partnering up with Alfa Laval, we can show the world that this is actually possible. We can do this. And I have a proof of in my hand that we can make it happen. And 2016, when we started to talk about this, the rest of the steel industry said it's impossible, it doesn't make sense, it can't be done. And now we're showing that it can. And with products, together with Alfa Laval and other partners, we can actually inspire the whole world. That's how I feel.
Wonderful, Eva. Well, thank you so much. And now I'm going to hand over to Thomas Möller. He's Executive Vice President, Alfa Laval, and President of the Energy Division. And here he is, Thomas Möller. Warm welcome.
Thank you, Katarina.
Excellent. So, Thomas, could you talk a little bit and introduce Alfa Laval and how your solutions are part of this big energy transformation?
Sure. So, first of all, Alfa Laval is a market leader in producing heat exchangers. And heat exchangers is used to heat and cool different fluids and gases, and it's really around the world. And these heat exchangers are going into process solutions for our everyday life. So it goes into the transportation sector, in the marine industry. It goes into food processing, and it's also heating and cooling of homes, our offices. Even this building we have here, with the climate we have in here, we have a number of heat exchangers in this building. But they are hidden, so they are not known to many, but they really matter to most. And they are impacting a lot of billion of people year in and year out. And since they are hidden and people haven't seen one, we thought we would bring one today. So that's what we have over here. So this is a heat exchanger, and this is a specific size. They come smaller, they come bigger. They can be so big they can't be in this room. And there are millions of them in the world. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And now you think he's a bit nerdy, but I'll tell you.
I agree.
You agree?
And it's heavy. It was really difficult getting it up on stage. It's a big, heavy machinery here.
This is some 350 kilograms, but
Indeed.
they come in many, many tons also. So why I love this beautiful unit is we're also part of the energy sector. So we are in all those applications. So we talk about energy efficiency, the new clean energy landscape, and so on. And these units are really enabling it. If we look at just the units we sold last year, that is equal to 50 gigawatt of energy savings. And if we then take also the service of the installed base and making them sure they are clean and fit for duty, it's another 50 gigawatts. And 100 gigawatt, what is that? How much is it? And if we just look at the number of wind turbines being deployed last year, which was a record year, it was 90 gigawatts. So I get goosebumps. I mean, that's amazing that we have an energy efficiency where we save energy. We don't have to produce it. So that's actually the greenest energy we can have. So I think that is pretty amazing, and that's why I think it's a beautiful piece of equipment. And of course, don't get me wrong, we need a lot of wind turbines. It's not, so we need a lot of renewable power, but we also need to save the energy and recover the waste heat we can, and there's so much available.
And Thomas, I know Alfa Laval has a target to be climate neutral by 2030. And of course, how does the steel that goes into these machineries, how does that play in this part?
Yeah, so you can say our contribution to the Paris Agreement and the race to the net zero is very much about putting equipment out and helping customers and processes being much more efficient. But it's of course also to get our own house in order. We cannot get away from that, and we don't want to. And we have put up a very ambitious target of, as a company, to be carbon neutral by 2030.
That is ambitious. We like it. We need ambitions, high ambitions indeed. So Thomas and Eva, how about we watch a video to explain a little bit more about how this works?
Yeah.
Alfa Laval is a leading international company on heat exchanger technologies, and that is in many industries. So it's heating, cooling of homes, it's waste heat recovery of a lot of industries, but it's also into the new energy landscapes with solar energy, wind energy, turning that into new types of power, hydrogen production and energy storage.
SSAB is a steel producer. Sweden, Finland, and North America. We are niched within high strength and wear resistant steels. We have for a long time worked together with our customers to utilize the premium specialized steels that we have, making our customers' products lighter, stronger, and more sustainable. In January this year, our board made the policy decision to look into speeding up our transition, transforming our strip product system completely in the Nordics, doing the transformation to fossil-free steel.
So we are very excited about the SSAB partnership. This is about going into action mode. This is about making things happen. Two big industrial companies in Sweden together that has an international impact, both on the fossil-free steel and employing that into heat exchangers that goes into a very versatile number of industries. That is pretty exciting.
In order to save the climate, we all need to work together. We cannot sub-optimize within different parts of the value chain. Two Swedish companies with high sustainability ambitions can work together to inspire worldwide with this new technology.
So we have our Concept Zero, where we want to have the heat exchanger being produced in a carbon neutral way. And the heat exchanger consists of a lot of steel. At the same time, we have the steel industry being responsible for 7% of the world's CO2 emission today. So if we can get fossil-free steel being produced and at the same time putting that into heat exchangers that is delivering such an energy efficiency boom, then we have some magic going on. It will bring us towards our own targets and ambitions, but of course also have a major impact on society.
Applause, indeed. It's now a pleasure to introduce Emma Modia-Viking. She is Head of International Sustainable Business at Business Sweden. And Emma, you are right here.
Right here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Emma, what does this partnership really mean for Sweden internationally?
Well, I mean, this is big, it's important, and it's extremely fantastic, I must say. Congratulations. Thank you. And this is exactly the kind of partnerships that we need and the world is requesting. And to have two industrial large companies, cross-sector, join forces to collaborate in the race to zero is absolutely fantastic and what we need to see more of. And I must say that I'm a little bit extra delighted to be here today, as I've had the opportunity to have a little tiny part of this history behind the partnership, as we a few months ago gathered in Glasgow during COP26, when we from Business Sweden gathered some of the most front-running companies in Sweden to showcase that the transition is possible and that it also brings a lot of opportunities. Talk about the opportunities, talk about solutions in place and the importance of scaling these solutions worldwide. And during COP26, we gathered some of the companies for a dinner where you and your colleagues had the opportunities to then further develop and discuss this partnership. And now, just a few months later, it's only 7 months later that you officially, publicly announced this partnership. And I think it's absolutely fantastic to see the transition, how quickly it goes, but also how the private sector is driving this transition, especially here in Sweden. We see that that companies cross sectors, also cross borders, are teaming up, join forces to collaborate and innovate new sustainable solutions and innovations. And this obviously only needs to scale. And this is where our colleagues at Business Sweden are working to, first of all, ensure that everyone knows of these solutions and try to ensure that these are reaching foreign markets and where their climate impact and your climate impact can just accelerate. So I think this is just a fantastic milestone once again in where we're heading towards, and it's key in the green transition. And it's not only very important for the transition here in Sweden. We have the aim to become the first fossil-free welfare nation by 2045. The fossil-free welfare nation by 2045. And this solution is key. It's not only innovating new technologies, but also the way we produce. And the impact that your collaboration can have in Sweden is fundamental. But then imagine when we're scaling this globally. It's mind-blowing, really. And I must say that Sweden, yes, we are a small country, but we have a potential to create a large impact worldwide. And we not only need to take the lead and showcase that transition is possible, but actively supporting other countries in their transformation to become fossil-free and circular. And I must say that this is exactly what we're doing once again to try to match-make global climate difficulties and challenges worldwide, to match-make that with Swedish solutions. And at Business Sweden, we're trying to act as some kind of a climate Tinder and a matchmaker, if you want, between climate challenges and sustainable solutions, including yourselves. So I can only emphasize and stress the importance of this collaboration, and also congratulate you and also the world for this fantastic partnership. And we're really looking forward to help you and support you to scale this globally and work together.
A perfect match right in front of you.
Yeah,
right?
A perfect match.
The Tinder worked.
The climate Tinder
worked.
The climate Tinder worked.
It was the match.
It was a perfect match.
So Thomas and Eva, what does it really mean to have two industrial companies with deep roots into the Swedish ground to be working together, setting an example? I mean, what ripple effects can this have on other companies and also countries?
I think for us it's so important to get more of these heat exchangers out. They are 50% more efficient than traditional technology. So we need to get that out. But we also need to have it carbon neutral from day zero. So during the 30 years lifetime, they are contributing a lot to the environment, but also day zero, so during the whole production. And when you look at the unit, there is of course a lot of steel in it. So to reach our carbon neutrality by 2030, we need fossil-free steel. And that is really what we are getting through this partnership here and having SSA be breaking down traditions and thinking in new ways, and through the hybrid technology, getting access to that is fantastic for us.
And also the partnership means that we now, during the R&D phase, up until we have this commercially available in 2026, we can work together in what kind of steel, what is the demands on the steel, what is the characteristic. We understand that the new technology doesn't change how we make steel downstream, how the characteristics of the steel, but how could this unit be even more maybe effective? Yeah. And that we have now time to work together. And I think, we're talking about Sweden, I think we have a great history of collaboration. And I've said it before, you said
engineering and collaboration.
Exactly, and we can't, working in silos and we can't make it happen. It doesn't become as optimized as it actually can be if we look at the whole value chain, the whole, I mean, in a holistic view. And I think Sweden is good in that. We are good at collaborating, it's important.
So, getting back to the question of inspiration and setting the example here, what do you think this partnership can do in that aspect of inspiring other companies that might be slightly unexpected to sort of tinder away?
I think we can show not only that it's technically available and possible, we can also show that there's a market for it, that there are customers willing to pay for this and to kind of have this as a premium product. I think that is also a very strong thing to show.
And I think the whole race to net zero, it is, you can do a lot of things on your own, but partnering up with other companies that have the same vision, the same ambition levels, and also want to go into action mode where you really complement each other, and the joint expertises are just bringing the magic that was impossible as two individuals. That is where the beauty comes. Then I think we have also to be very careful about partnerships, because we could have 5 times more, 10 times more partnerships than we have today, because everybody wants to partner up. But it's not a branding exercise. It's not about marketing. It's really the partnerships that click, where you can go into action and share the longer-term vision, because we need action now. And that's the kind of partnerships we are seeking, and that's what we found here. So, yeah.
Excellent. Let's watch another movie or video. So how can we ensure that this is just not going to end by talk? I mean, really getting it out there. How do we make sure that this is really happening for sure and reaching customers all over the world?
No, we are doing this now. We are already in the phase of our first blast furnace site, which is Oxelösund, and transforming that. And we also now are looking into actually accelerating our transformation so that by 2030 we would have closed all our blast furnaces in the Nordic system. And we are in the planning phase. And this is a proof that we technologically can do it. And now we are also starting to plan for the building of this new system. So it's not talk only.
I wanted you to say it because, I mean, I knew this, and most people that are on the sustainability field are following you closely, but for the world to know that this is actually happening.
Yes.
It is not just talk.
No, it's not just talk.
So, Thomas, in terms of your products, this timeline, can you share that with us again?
Yeah, so we are already, after this partnership was signed, we are in dialogue with a number of customers, key customers already in different industry verticals. And people are really excited about it. These industries are also looking for solutions, and so they can walk their talk. And it's very encouraging for us. I cannot share more about these customers today, but during the autumn there will be a number of releases. And this will be real commercial deals, real technologies that will go out in the real life and make a difference. And the plan is to deliver these already next year. So it is happening.
And the potential or the capacity of reducing the greenhouse gases, could you repeat that again, please? You said that over here before. Because
Yes.
I think it's worth repeating.
So if you look at the whole energy efficiency, take that alone as one area, and look at how much carbon emission reduction we need to get to reach the Paris Agreement. 40% of that has to come from energy efficiency. And that is technologies we have right in front of you here that is delivering that. And it's not like we need much more innovation, a lot of breakthrough or scalability and so on. We are mass producing this already. And like I mentioned, 50 gigawatts last year on just the new sales of equipment.
So if you would compare 50 gigawatts to something else, just to paint a picture for the viewers.
Yeah.
What kind of emitter is 50 gigawatts?
So if you say to create 50 gigawatt, it's also a lot of CO2 emission that we say, right? So that is 25 million CO2 tons of CO2, and that is equal to Paris, for example, 10 million homes. So
the city of Paris, the emissions of the city of Paris.
Yeah, in 1 year.
In 1 year.
And we have sold this for many years.
So this is a fantastic innovation, and it will soon be available in fossil-free steel.
Yes, that's what we want.
Yeah.
And that's what we will do.
Terrific. So Emma, final words from you, and actually a question also to Eva and Thomas here about the importance of what you're doing for the companies and with the companies to get this to really fly all over the world.
I mean, I think the most important message is in order for us to decarbonize the whole world economy, we need, I mean, if you don't do it now, if you're not a part of the race now, you will no longer exist. So by bringing these pioneering companies together and showcasing to the world that these innovations are in fact in place and these partnerships are happening, I think the biggest contribution that we can have is, once again, not only to showcase that it's actually here, but to ensure that they're reaching foreign markets so that your climate impact can accelerate and also multiply it worldwide, and that we can continue having these matchmaking processes and also spur new collaborations cross-border and cross sectors across the world. I think that's definitely the largest impact and also the contribution that Sweden can and should have, considering our long history of collaboration, innovation, and sustainability. So I think this is the largest impact we can do and what we are striving to at Business Sweden to continue driving forward to.
So Eva and Thomas, you very often hear it doesn't matter what Sweden does because China is emitting massive amounts of carbon. What do you say?
Yeah, the answer to that is that, I mean, we can only take care of our clean our house, and we can hope that we can be an inspiration and we can show that it's also possible and that it kind of makes also good business, not only a huge environmental impact, but also good business, and that then the transformation will kind of spread. That's what we can do. I mean, and as I said, when we started to talk about making steel in this new way, using hydrogen instead of carbon, the steel industry didn't believe that it would be possible. Now we have shown that it's possible, and if you look at the goals of many steel companies today, they have this as a kind of final, this would be the vision. This is where we need to strive for. We need to, there are other possibilities in other areas of the world, but this would be kind of a good way to go. I think, again, inspiration and show that it's possible. That's what we can do. Indeed.
I think the biggest risk with that is with the passive thinking. What China is not doing that, and they are not. Then you become passive and you kind of give up, right? And there's not one silver bullet that will fix all this. Everybody have to contribute, and we have to show the way, inspire people, and so on. And I have also been inspired being in China on a number of business trips and so on. So it's not like China is not doing. They also. Heavily looking into walking the talk, right? So we have to get into the action mode, and we have to inspire others, and that's what we are doing.
You are indeed. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on stage, and thank you so much for showing this big, heavy, beautiful machinery and for doing what you're doing together. It's truly inspiring and groundbreaking and important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.